Welcome to another edition of the Lunch and Learn session. It is Women's History Month. I'm excited to be here. I'm your host, Kiara, aka Ambi, and I'm kicking off the month with nothing but phenomenal women. But today we're going to start it off with somebody who I am excited to sit across with. Okay, we are unleashing the potential with Miss DJ D Henson. Okay, she is a trailblazer that rooms in sales and personal branding and mentorship and marketing and all these fly things that I'm eager to hear what she has to offer us. Okay, honoring countless contributions to women's history. Her presence is a beacon of inspiration. Okay, she transforms the power from her within to us, and she just shows us how to chase these dreams and how to really accomplish what there is that we want to accomplish. Okay, with her tireless advocacy and unwavering commitment and uplifting others, we have a superstar in the building that's going to give us some insight. Can we please welcome Miss D to the stage?
Hi, everybody.
What's going on? As we was talking a couple of minutes before, I said, girl, I'm excited to talk to you because in just reading your bio, and I love this quote that you had. You said, and I'm gonna say it because I just gotta say it. I'm a 90s baby, so you said if the Spice Girls could get what they really, really want, then my question is, why aren't you? I gotta open the show with that today. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I
What
love
you really, really want, right?
love it. I love it. So I want to open the floor and give you a chance to tell us who you are, a little bit about your background, your upbringing, and how do we get D sitting across from us today?
I am, I guess, sales strategy spice, if I'm going to be one of the Spice Girls,
Okay.
right? And I am a New York girl all the way around. And how I wound up across from you today is just my dedication to not only Black women and uplifting women and helping them get what they really, really want because it's what we deserve. It's also, I love sales. Anything about sales strategy, anything that has to do with bringing in that money, that moolah. Like, this is our time. We're going to get what we really want. Why not?
Yes, yes, and it's over deserved, it's well deserved, and just like you said, we gotta do it. We gotta come and take what's ours, and I'm here.
Amen.
Okay, so I know you have the sales law. If you please like give me tell us about the sales law, and then you can go into your background in business. And I know you have some experience in Fortune 500 companies. So can you define what the sales law is and in its simplest terms, and what does that do?
Sure. I think that 2023 for a lot of us was either really, really great. It was like a really good year. And then there was a lot of us where we were just like, are we living in a simulation? Like, what is happening here? The job market went crazy, inflation went crazy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a space with the sales loft where it's like you're coming to my crib, you're coming to my house, and we are going to do and hang out and basically lounge about and make a way for us to elevate our own businesses, our own personal brands, and our lives. Like, that's what we're going to do. I have been in software sales and tech for the last 8 to 9 years. It's been, I love sales. It's been a good long run. But it's time to welcome you guys to the sales loft and let's figure this out for ourselves, right? That's what this is about.
Yes, yeah. So how did you even get into sales? What was the trigger that was like this is it. This is absolutely what I want to do. How do we get to sales with you?
For me, it was actually a matter of feeling like I was stifled with being authentic when it came to being in HR, right? It was just very, Carrie, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't dress a certain, like, you just couldn't
Yeah.
express yourself. And I felt trapped. And I actually, for my first sales interview, went in right off the bat and just told them, like, listen, if you think that I haven't been negotiating with hiring managers as to why candidates are the best person for them, I can negotiate to anybody. I can sell anything to anybody. And because you're a 90s baby, like, without us aging ourselves, I've been selling since the Toys R Us book. Like, come on. Like, if there was a toy or a Barbie that I wanted, I was going to get what I wanted. That car, that little Barbie car, I'm going to get what I want because I've been selling since, 3 feet top, like, below that height.
I love it. And that's it's so great that we focus on true identity and what it means to really be ourselves within our business profession. And I love that you mentioned that, the sense of feeling trapped and feeling like, I can't wear this, I can't do that. And just being a woman in corporate America, a woman, period, it's like, it's a constant uphill battle. But add being a Black woman to that, it's like, okay, the odds is against us, and we got to fight every day to constantly prove ourselves and show up and be the best one in the room, and still might not even be able to receive that recognition. How do you, how would you guide somebody through those experiences, of like being in those positions, and how do you, what advice would you give them to, like, girl, you just got to keep going, basically,
It's a combination of you have to keep going because you know what? Life is funny enough, life is a sales game, right? And it's all about
Okay.
numbers. So
Yes.
you are going to get so many no's. You don't think after a while you're going to get a yes? It's bound to happen. It's
Yes.
literally a numbers game. So if you stop yourself with when you're at no number 44, you know the yes could have been question number 45, right?
Yeah.
But you'll never know if you don't go through all of those no's. And just like we're saying, like women have been told for 100,000 million years.
Yes.
No, you can't. No,
Yes.
you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're not tired of hearing no?
Yes.
Like, go get your yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. I love it, because it's really like, just like you said, if you don't do it, then who will? If I don't
Well,
do it, then who will? If I don't go get the yes, then who will? Because somebody paved the way for me to even be in this position to get this no today. So I gotta continue and stay steadfast within that. So I agree with you 100% with that. I know that using your personal brand, and securing, because I could already tell, like, your speaking engagements and just the influence that you have, um, upon your clientele. How do you continue to grow that and launching your business, and just
I think that LinkedIn is a super underutilized platform. I think that a lot of us are just insisting on being in this almost like this abusive relationship with our boyfriend and algorithm on Instagram and everywhere else. And we are working so hard, all of us, whether it's your own personal brand, your own business, or even when you are working a 9 to 5, we are all putting out our content and putting our stuff out there, and it's not getting seen. And
yeah.
so by utilizing LinkedIn, it allowed me that space that, funny enough, it used to be such an HR space where I'm so used to feeling trapped, and other people felt like you have to be so corporate and buttoned up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could just open up to people and tell them your corporate and life experiences,
Yes.
that is your personal brand. It's you. Like, and just tell people about it and what they can get from it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I've been written up for having braids on my hair as a Black woman. I've been definitely in trouble for my nails,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
working in corporate. But these are authentic things that make me me. And
Yes.
what have I learned from these things? It's about creating and becoming resilient. And that's what I'm showcasing on LinkedIn to people to help them build their personal brand. So
Yeah.
go get that deal if you want to get that deal,
Yes.
because you are the selling point. All of this,
Yes.
you are the selling point.
Yes. And that's, so the authenticity is so important. And even in, just like you said, mixing the business with your personal, how do you decipher between the two of what is business and what's personal, and how do you know, because it's a thin line between it for some of us, of like, now this is really what I do, so my business is personal to me. And I tell people all the time when they say, I don't take it personal, nah, this is, my business is personal, so I'm going to take it personal, because I put everything into it. But what are some strategies that you use, even with you mentioning the LinkedIn as a platform? I see Athenia on the chat saying, as Black people in the community, we don't utilize LinkedIn maybe as we use these other social media platforms. We on Instagram all day, we on Facebook all day, we see everybody's stories and captions and that, but we need to, like, take it to the business side of being able to connect with these other people that can get your company where you need it to go, grow your company, grow your brand. So what are some ways, effective ways, that you utilize LinkedIn, and how do you go about that?
The first thing that I would say to absolutely anyone is to remember that people buy from humans,
Mm.
right? Like you and I, we are not Costco, we're not Best Buy, like we are not a walking logo, like this is not Home Depot, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the business. And even when it comes to people being introverted and shy, and they're like, you couldn't pay me to be on camera. I hear, right? But your stories and what you've lived and what you've experienced,
Mm-hmm.
no one can take that away from you. So
Mm-hmm.
going on LinkedIn, the first thing I would say is Between your bio and your banner is the first thing that everyone sees. Whether it's a recruiter because you're actually looking to get your next corporate job, or
Mhm.
if you're looking to connect with other business owners, or if you're looking to find clients, if your bio and your actual banner don't tell us what we need to know, remember, thanks to good old TikTok, all of our attention span, is 3 to 4 seconds.
I was just about to say a number of seconds, and that's so crazy, but it's so true. It's so true.
Right? It's like you see something, it's people are like, oh, squirrel, like your brain
Mhm,
just goes
mhm, mhm.
immediately. So you have to use LinkedIn in that first 3 to 4 seconds. That's your hook. That's
Yeah,
literally how you're connecting with people and having them see like, do I want to keep scrolling? If
yeah.
a recruiter is looking, do I actually want to see where this person has worked and what their work experience is?
Mhm.
Secondly, take, and I know we're all out of high school and college and we're all like, I'm never writing another essay again. Get to writing. Like that's
Yes.
what the posts are for. You got to flex those old high school, college essay muscles and get to writing because this isn't TikTok and this isn't Instagram where
Yeah.
you're going to be pop locking and doing dances like Usher and getting people's attention. You need
Yeah.
to write your story and tell people your story in your posts so that people actually know who you are besides a little icon that's this big with your picture smiling in it and your bio.
And these are true gems. Even as you're talking, I'm like, you know what? I need to go up there and update a few things because it's so important that we pay attention to these key concepts of, yeah, you only have a short attention span of a person. You have to make it attractive to the mind of where they're eager to want to know more about you. If
Yes.
it's like, oh yeah, that's just John Doe. Let me keep going. You lost a potential business partner, a client, just as you said. So we
You
want,
lost your
yeah.
next job potentially. Like if a recruiter or a hiring manager is looking, if they
Hmm.
don't see what they want to see within the first 3 seconds, it's on to the next candidate.
Yeah,
Why you?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And I see everybody in the chat going crazy. This is absolutely some important information for real because this is what we need to tend to. Let me ask you. Okay, let's jump here for a second. In mentorship, right? I know that you have some mentorship in the Black Girls in Tech mentoring program. First, can you give us a little detail about that program, and then share some advice that you typically offer the Black women on like a professional path into technology and into any of those kind of programs?
So Black Girls in Tech, it is actually, I guess, like a global org because they literally are located in Ireland, in London. They're here in the U.S. and it's such an amazing community of helping women whether it's that entry level stage and they're just trying to get into tech, or
Mhm.
even if you are already super experienced and you're looking to make a pivot, or you're connecting with other Black women specifically in this tech org where there wasn't many of us,
Mhm.
right? And I've had the experience of being quite literally the only Black person on a tech sales floor. And
Yeah.
it is very isolating. And it's very isolating and they have provided an opportunity to lift that isolation off of you,
Yeah.
right, and to meet other people who are just like you. They're giving you the mirror, like,
Yeah.
girl, see yourself, right?
Huh? Mhm.
And it's an annual cohort. It is free to apply. So I think that is another thing. Like I know inflation is off the chain right now, but
Mhm.
again, so that's important. The fact is that when they release their cohorts, it is free. And you can connect with women that can say, hey, don't get certified with this boot camp. Take this boot camp. This is what I did. Let me
Yeah.
save you not only some coin, but some stress and because you're
Yeah.
trying to live while you're trying to study. So when we connect, what we are talking about and advice that I'm giving them is one, like I've always said, it is about you. And I know people think that it is selfish. It's not.
Mhm.
It is about you. You are the selling point, and the landscape is changing. So be your authentic self because no one wants to go to work being miserable all day, every day.
Yeah.
Our blood pressure is high enough with other things. Like, we do not need work to be on that list of things.
Mhm.
So it's number one, being authentic and being true to yourself. If it doesn't feel good in your guts, don't proceed with
That don't
it.
feel right.
And then again, take advantage, secondly, of your mentor is there to give back. to the community.
Yes.
There is no wrong question. There is no dumb question. There is no, you're too annoying. You're not asking too many
Mhm.
questions, because this is about you, right? And take advantage of this time to get where you want to go on your career path,
Yeah.
right? You can build more LinkedIn connections that could literally introduce you to the next hiring manager for your next 9 to 5. Your next corporate, your own client could
Yeah.
be a connection of your mentor. So why would you let that opportunity go to waste?
So valuable because mentorships are not as common with, or also or always like, tangible. It's not easy to find a mentor
Yeah.
in every field. And just like you said, sometimes you might find somebody who you view as a mentor, but you don't want to ask too many questions, or you don't want to, be overbearing, or like, all right, I don't want to bother them every day, but you just solidifying that, no, breaking that barrier to ask as many questions as possible is what you're here for. That's what's going to get you to the next level, and we have to get out of those stigmas and really just let our brains flow and ask as many questions as possible. And speaking of, we have some questions in the chat. We have Mackie. She says, "Don't you think the platform feels a bit corporate? Using it to find a job, for example. I guess she's talking about LinkedIn. Using it to find a job, for example, feels a bit like a nightmare because HR is relying more and more on the AI algorithms and not the person. What do you think on that?" Ooh, and that's a good one too because.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Maggie, first of all. And it's true, but what I would then ask of you is, just as I said before, who wants to, it is so exhausting to not be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It is too exhausting.
Yeah.
And if you feel that you are in a situation, or where there's a corporate entity that is forcing you by scrubbing things like even LinkedIn to make sure that you are this thing that they've created of you, is that really the corporate entity that you want to be with?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the turning point for me, like in working in HR. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to my profile, you can see where I have been. And it's a matter of, it's freeing. And with finding a job on LinkedIn, it is, I think the secondary part is that we've forgotten that it's not the end all be all. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not showing this as like shouting out necessarily other job boards, but I think that people have truly forgotten the OGs of the job board game. If you're looking corporate, people have forgotten about the Indeeds, they've forgotten about Dice, they've forgotten about all of not only these OG sites, but
Mm-hmm.
all these newer ones that are coming up with amazing startups that actually can't even afford the ad space to put their jobs on LinkedIn. So you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't even be finding some of the opportunities that would really speak to you are not even on the platform, because of the fact that the employer may not be able to afford to put it there.
Yeah, 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 and that's big. That's big because that's a very valid point because it is sometimes. And Janelle just said, "A closed mouth won't get fed." That's very true. And sometimes, I randomly just scrolling on the internet, I might see a position, and I'm like, hmm. But when you're looking on these sites, you don't see these positions of these other companies, just like you said, that might not have the advertising buck to be able to advertise on this platform, but the opportunities are out there. The
They
opportunity.
are out there. The Amazons and the Googles, they have the bread, they have the cash to
Mm-hmm.
put all of their jobs on LinkedIn. And if you actually force your corporate search to only be that vertical, it's no different than for content creators. You see that they don't just, I'm only going to post on Instagram. They're on TikTok,
Yeah,
they're on YouTube. You got to diversify the same exact way.
and utilize all the platforms seriously. And I want, and just talking about building your platform and building, um, using LinkedIn and using just whatever platform as a example of who you are, or an image of who you are for somebody looking from the outside in. How do you sometimes it's like I may not want to put this job or this experience because maybe the length that I had there wasn't long enough or something like that. Like, how do you go about, or what advice would you give in those instances where people have a lot of experience of, maybe short term jobs of I worked here and I've done that and I've done this, but to an employer looking in, it may look like, oh, well, she was only there for 4 months. So,
5 minutes.
right. It's like, okay, but the experience is what matters, in my opinion. But what would you say about that?
So that's just it. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, we have to remember that when people, it's very funny to me when people always are like, I would never get into sales, I hate sales. You are selling all the time. And LinkedIn is basically, it's the proposal. right? And so when you are looking at your jobs and your past experience, and just like you said, you're looking at it and you're like, maybe I shouldn't put this on there because I've been there for 5 minutes and this is
Yeah.
gonna look crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But if what you did in those 5 minutes was more impactful than what I've done in 5 years, you better put it on there.
Yeah.
You better put it on there because people are reading it and they are looking at the experience. What can I, as the employer, because you have to remember, it's a transaction. I'm
Yes.
paying you to do this for
Yes.
me. What can you do for me? And if you don't say it with your chest, what are you going to do for me? I'm not about to sit here and guess. Like,
Yes. Yes.
who has the time? Like, what? Next
And
candidate.
I love that you use transaction because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And I said we have to um view it in that way in certain instances, and especially if you're in a position. And I tell people that I speak with all the time, because I'm just one speaking from experience. I've worked in different areas, and I was like, this is not for me. This is not. And I know that it was like, okay, I have to be able to be my own boss. I have to be able to do things because if I'm gonna be here working for you for this amount of money, and I'm gonna be miserable doing it. Oh, no. Tell me what you want, what you really really want. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it. So
What amount of money is going to make it worth it for your blood pressure to be 200 over 200? None.
girl, girl.
None. And I'm not saying that going on your own entrepreneurial journey is for everyone, right?
Mhm.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of if 9 to 5, which I will never demonize,
Mhm.
is for you, as long as you remember, this is not your friend, this is not your homie, this is not your partner, like who's gonna be waiting for you at the end of a bad day with open arms
Yeah.
and Chick-fil-A. Like they're not waiting for you to comfort you. This is a transaction. I'm paying you to do this for me. So when you are looking at your profile, when you're looking at your own resume, there are people who are out here charging $400-$500 for resume services, and they're taking advantage of the unfortunate job market situation that's going on right now. Look
Yeah.
at your own resume, look at your own LinkedIn, and look at your impact and what you have provided for that other company. And if you write things in that context, you're going to talk to the next employer.
Yes.
Oh, she did that for Kiara? Then,
Yes.
well, she can do that then for me. Okay. Like,
Mhm.
I like that. That's how you're gonna be able to self-audit your own work.
Yes. Yes. And I just speaking to you, it brings a thought. I was speaking in the past couple of episodes about just having the knowledge. You don't know what you don't know. And having the resources and just being able to talk to people like yourself. You give it into us in an authentic way that we can actually grasp it, that we can apply it, that we can say, okay, yeah, I've been tripping. I should have been doing this in this way, and just platforms like yourself, the Sales Loft. Like, I love to talk about Earn Your Leisure. Like, just the platforms that are available to us today is, I think, the difference that's needed. The difference that's going to be able to elevate the room, elevate the conversation in the room, and take us to a level of where we're amongst, the group. I'm gonna say the group, the people that we need to be in a room with, a seat at the table, and us building our own table as well. So I agree with everything that you've been saying. I think it's so many gems that you're dropping, and just the trickiness between the authenticity of yourself and being delicate with business and being appealing at the same time, and combining the two. In growing business and in sales, because you just, and I'm like, it is always sales. You're always selling yourself. How do you
Always.
think that we amplify our stories as Black women, since we in Women's History Month? Let's I want to take a turn to like just highlight that, and just how can we continue to amplify our stories in the most proud way, so to speak.
So proud is the right word. It's about being unafraid. So first thing, in advance, happy International Women's Day tomorrow, the
Yeah.
8th. You better tell
Yes.
somebody. If you don't know, here's your reminder from Kiara and I. It is
Absolutely.
tomorrow. So happy to all of my wonderful ladies out there. It is about being unafraid. You can't live in fear. And I guess, as even some of us millennials, like a lot of things that we've all gone through, the first thing that we used to say is like, but did you die?
Oh, but did
That's everything that's happened to us. It's just like, but did you die? It's like, oh, okay. The economy's collapsing, but did you die? No, I'm
you
still here. Okay. Like, so in order for you, especially as a Black woman, you have to go into every situation of, but did you die?
yeah, yeah.
Like the things that happened to you before, are you not still here right now? Some of you on this live as we're speaking. So
Hmm?
if you are living in a place of fear, and just as Janelle said in the comments before, closed mouths don't get fed. They don't.
Yeah,
You will start.
yeah,
It's not a good feeling.
yeah.
So you have to do it and do it afraid. And guess what? It's not always going to work out. But the times that it doesn't work out, did you die?
Did you die though? I love it. And I see the comments going. Diana says courage over fear. And it just reminded me of something that I heard yesterday. And I believe it said crisis, it said, what did it say? Crisis reveals character. And I was like, that's
That's a fact.
1,000% true. Like it's a like the character that's built in situations that we might find troubling, or how am I gonna make it through? It takes you to this level that you haven't reached yet. If you're asking for this, and just on a spiritual sense, if you're asking God for something and he's like, okay, I'm gonna put you to the test and see if you can get through this, because that's just preparing you for what you're asking
Oh,
for.
the next
So
level.
everything that you say,
Exactly.
it's like we have to challenge the fear with faith, challenge the fear with faith, and really just go after what you want. Go after what you want. And I think you kind of may have answered this already, but what's one rule that you value in every situation, even in like business or in personal? Like, what's one rule that you value that you feel works all the time?
One rule that works all the time, and I think that's gotten me through my entire sales career, is the concept of you're not tequila. Like, not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some of us drink water and are healthy. Some of us
Mhm.
drink whiskey. Some of us drink wine. Some of us, there's something out there for everybody,
Yes.
right? And I may not be your shot of tequila, but I'm
Mhm.
somebody else's, right?
Yes.
I'm not for another client. I am that for another company,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And the rule is that you are wasting time trying to be water, trying to be whiskey if you're tequila. Stop. Like, just
Yeah.
we take the shot and just close our eyes and go. Like just stay in that lane of who you are, because it will get you where you need to be that much faster
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it because
We don't chase, we attract.
come on now. You could have said it any better. And
We
that's
don't chase over here.
yeah, that's the truth. And when you stand in that truth of your own, it gives off a different persona, it gives off a different character, it gives off a level of boss that is like, okay, nah, that's she's absolutely the one, she's the one. This is who I want to go to. And those and following those things, I always say, if as an entrepreneur, if somebody wants your services, they're gonna pay for whatever it is, that whatever you said. If they want it, they're gonna get it. You don't walk in Louis Vuitton and say, oh, I want that bag, but I only got 200 though. You come back when you get the other 2,000, then you can get it.
Then
So
you can get it.
being
And the
standing in
same
front
thing
of
works in business and literally when it comes to corporate as well.
mm-hmm,
People ask all the time, how do I get into tech? How do I break into tech? How do I break into tech? I came from corporate HR,
mm-hmm,
like stockings in the New York summertime, 100 degrees in Manhattan,
uh-huh,
thinking that I was going to have a heat stroke, right? Because I'm in corporate in a black suit, sweating to death.
yeah,
And I came from that and broke into tech, which anybody can do the same
yeah,
if you are true to yourself and say it with your chest. Like
yeah,
every time.
yeah, yeah. And I yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't even say nothing to piggyback that, because I just agree 1,000,000%. What are you most proud of contributing in tech, in sales, and just personally in the world, every day? What are you most proud of?
From a tech and sales perspective, and I never, hindsight is 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really start to recognize that what I'm most proud of is the ability to give everybody grace is something that is a learned behavior,
Yes.
right? Over time. It is a learned behavior. And when you're going through it, you're not looking at like this is going to be a great lesson on the other side. You're like, what is happening right now though?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Usually, and being able to even mentor when it comes to Black girls in tech, it is my opportunity to give grace, to give back to someone else, or to help someone else. And I know that may sound cliche or whatever it is, but it is
Real.
people. What I will say to mentees is that, especially if you wind up with a mentor that is going through it, you guys have no idea how healing you guys are and how much of a cup you guys provide
Mm-hmm.
for us to. I can't help my own situation, but I can help yours, 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 and yours. And
Yes.
inadvertently, you're healing me by asking these questions and by wanting help and wanting to connect. And that is what I'm most proud of. It's seeing these little beacons of light amidst a really dark period. And that's what's made 2024. If nobody told you guys, I'm here to tell you, this is our Kobe year. It's
This
nothing
is
but brightness. 24 is Kobe year all year.
this is this is
So
it.
we had our dark period, was done with that. This is the year for all of us, seriously.
And what you're saying that it just brings. I was listening to I think it was TD Jakes. He said the other day. He said we're so confined and looking at our lives through like a microscopic view, and when we're going through something, we're in it. So we're just like you said, oh my God, I'm in this dark place, this is happening, this is going wrong, this is going. But when we pull out and give it a telescopic view, and we actually, now I can help somebody else. I can put aside, what's going on in my personal daily life right now, but I can be of help and give somebody else advice or answer a question or guide them in the right direction. That just, it clears the way, it clears the view, and now you can go back to whatever was bothering you or stifling you, and you're like, you know what, okay, I needed that space, or I needed to pull back, or I needed to help somebody else to be able to figure out how can I help myself out this situation. So I'm with you on the Black Mamba. Yeah, this is like, let's take, like, no, it's not an answer, like, let's just,
It's not, no, it's absolutely not an answer. Like I said, what do you really, really want? Just like the Spice Girls, that is the mentality.
mm-hmm,
Go get it. And you need to change your speech.
mm-hmm,
Like, and I'm sure, and I know TD Jakes talks about this kind of stuff all the time as well. It's about what you're saying out loud. There's a reason why affirmations and manifestation is such a big thing. It's not just this little, frou-frou fluff
yeah,
thing. It is, you got laid off? Guess what? Me too. You can't say what is happening to you. It is
yes,
what's happening for you. And
yes,
things didn't change for me in business, in things, until I stopped saying, like, damn, this is happening to me. Like, no, this is
mm-hmm,
happening for
yes,
me. And you
yes,
just keep saying it that way until it sticks.
yes. Welcome what you want. Welcome what you want in. Welcome business. Hello business. Hello. Welcome these things in, even in the time of, disparity. It's just like, nah, I gotta stay true to almost stay tunnel vision of what you like. I can't, nope, I'm blocking out. I'm thinking of all of the memes that I see is like, oh no, negativity, blocking this, blocking that. You gotta block it all out. You really have to block it all out, and you have to stay
You
true
didn't.
to what you got going on.
When people are like upset and are just like, I didn't get promoted and I've been grinding for so long, like, you're allowed to feel that hurt and that frustration and be angry as all hell about it. You're allowed to feel that. But what if you didn't get promoted? It's not happening to you. What is happening for you that you didn't get promoted? Is it because you're supposed to be a director getting
Uh-huh.
35,000 more somewhere else that the current place wasn't going to give you?
Mm-hmm.
Did
Mm-hmm.
you get laid off from where you are right now so that you could go be where you really want to be? Right? So
Yes.
what's happening for you?
Yes, yes, yes. We have Harold in the chat. He said, what should you look for when selecting a mentor?
Ooh, that's a good one. What should you look for when you're selecting a mentor? I think what I would look for when I'm selecting a mentor is consistency,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were just talking Mamba mentality
Mm-hmm.
and Kobe year. A person that's unwavering,
Yeah.
regardless of what field they're in, if it's what they're applying themselves to be, if they're a sales coach, if they are a content creator, whatever it is that they are you seeing them consistently doing this thing and being themselves in an authentic, unwavering manner? And
Mm-hmm.
that consistency, because that consistency is a matter of discipline, which you can't buy. You can't buy that. And you want someone who's going to instill that discipline in you, because that is literally, that's the backup when the motivation is not there.
Yes.
When the motivation gas tank runs out, the
Mm-hmm.
discipline is literally the backup. It is. It's literally your car going from like gas to electric. That's what it's
Mm-hmm.
there for.
Yes.
And if a person or your mentor that you're looking for hasn't been consistent, if they don't have that discipline, how are they going to instill that discipline in you to help
Yeah.
you get to the next level of whatever it is that you want to achieve?
Yes.
Right. So,
Yes. Gotta have that discipline. And discipline is doing it even when you don't want to, even when you don't have it's showing up. It's showing
it's,
up, constantly showing up, and just focus, a level of focus, a level of determination and discipline. It makes a difference between who you are now and who you want to be. That's what's between that, the discipline. So
oh, yes.
absolutely, absolutely. I want to ask you about self-care. Self-care. What does self-care look like for you? What brings happiness to your daily life? How do you take time for yourself within helping and extending yourself to others? What do you do for yourself?
First thing, self care is not selfish. And that stigma that it is this selfish thing and all you're doing is caring about you. If I'm no good, how am I good to you
Yeah.
or to anybody else around me?
Yeah.
So, what brings me happiness is carving out. I am a systematic person,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm a systematic person where I need to have structure and things in place. And what brings me happiness is taking that time to plan stuff out. And yeah, it may not always go according to plan because we make plans and God is like, that's cute. But it's at least the idea that you have taken the time to know yourself and
Yeah.
what fills your cup. If it is working out, if it is binging on TikTok while like me eating white cheddar Cheez-Its, like that is my moment. That's my time. Nobody's gonna take that from me.
Uh-huh.
You can judge me, you're not taking that from
Mm-hmm.
me. That is what brings me happiness. And you need to carve the time out to do those things so that your cup is always full because that's the thing that I literally learned, or the biggest lesson for me over the last 2 years is that if I am not okay, you're not going to be good to your boss, for your
Mm-hmm.
employer, for your partner, for your kids, for your friends, for your parents. You are not good for these people if you're not good. So why would you not take the time to practice self-care so that you can be helpful in your own communities, no matter
Yes.
how small it is?
Yes. Yes. And what are some of your goals, short-term goals and long-term goals for the sales loft, and things that you're working on futuristically?
Short-term goals is I am releasing another ebook that is going to be change your point of view because just like we said, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I want to walk you guys through as much as it may feel like you're sounding stupid. Like I'm saying, like people call you, how you doing? And the first thing that we all say is, this girl, this is what's happening to me. Yo, this is what's happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
Start even with those things where when you're responding to someone, tell them what's happening for you and
Yes.
watch the things start to pivot and shift and move. So short-term goals is I want to get that out there to you guys because I
Mm-hmm.
want you guys to also create systems for your life, right? You're constantly selling, whether you're trying to convince your kids to go to bed at a certain time, you are selling them on why they should go to bed and not me in your face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
How can you create systems for them so that your blood pressure is not 200 over 200 and they're in bed getting the 10, 15 hours of sleep that you need them to get so that they get
Yeah.
up to school and the next day is not stressful and you can create this beautiful life for yourself, a beautiful business for yourself. You can create an amazing 9 to 5 workday for yourself if you take the time to create the systems so that they just go automatically and just flow. So it's that, and a longer term goal is to get as many of you people in the lounge as possible at the sales loft. So that
Yeah.
again, if we can all vibe together, like if this is what we are all going through, why are you going through it alone? There's
Mm-hmm.
how many billion people on this planet? What are
Mm-hmm.
we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Suffering in the dark in silence? No.
And I know you wanted to share something. You wanted to share
Freebies.
yes, yes. Let's put that up, please. That's
Yeah, you guys are all gonna get access like to a link that's gonna show you guys the lounge there with all the freebies that you guys can take advantage of. So I've literally created a spreadsheet planner for you guys where you can take the rest of the month of March, make your own systems, throw it in there. There's a digital marketing template in there for you guys. If somebody's interested in content creation, you guys are gonna jump in there. Get yourself a free social media planner for all of 2024 because it's your Kobe year and you're going to do big things this year. So start organizing and getting your stuff together,
this is
right? Like
major.
take your personal brand personally. It's about you. Like, so that's what you guys are all going to get.
Major. That was a you're gonna get one, you're gonna get one, you're gonna we all coming away with something so major. That is like thank you for those tools, thank you for your time, thank you for your expertise, thank you for every gem that you dropped today, because it really just speaks volume to who you are as an individual, but more importantly your purpose, and helping others and helping us all rise up together, because that's what it's all about. I hate that when conversation gets so good, I look up at the time and I'm like, oh my God, we only got 5 more minutes. Oh my God. So let me get to a few of these questions. Who is your favorite hip hop artist?
Okay, guys, my bachelor's degree is actually in music.
Come on now.
Um, so shout out to Suni Oneonta. Okay, so that's first of all, Red Dragons. I will please don't come for me in the comments. I will. Kanye is off his rocker. However, I have been, again, as a person whose degree is in music, I have been with Kanye since he was a producer. Like, I mean, from the very, very, very beginning. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
and so he is truly a musical genius.
Yes, he is.
And we're seeing some of that genius go a little left. But
that Vultures album, I just took like a second listen to it. Amazing. Like it is. That's a conversation for another time, but I absolutely agree with you on Kanye. Kanye is definitely in my top 5, so I'm gonna definitely agree with you on that one. What does the significance of Women's History Month mean to you, and what do you think it means to the people overall?
I won't speak for the people, but for me, it's being told no for everything. I was actually born in Jamaica, right? Like I wasn't born in the States. Like, so of course, a quick little bullet and shout out to my people. Like,
Yes, yes.
we are so used to, even worse so as women, like let alone someone who's immigrated here, like you're so used to being told no for everything. When you're in certain job spaces, especially even furthermore as a Black woman, they have Todd and Jake that are literally doing the same job as you, getting paid more, doing the same exact job as you.
Yes.
Women's History Month for me is about the people who have paved the way to open the doors for you and I, and
Yes.
how can I do the same, like with the opportunities that I've been given and the platform that I've been given to open the doors for some of these little miserable Gen Z and the Gen Alphas, right? Like there's going to be a day where we're going to be old and gray, and there's only so much hair dye that's going to cover it. We got to equip them, and we have to equip the women of the future so that we can all be better. We have to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
Girls run the world. Sorry.
Beyonce said it. And
sorry, not sorry.
And we've been running the world. That's the thing. We're gonna continue to do so. What does Juneteenth mean to you?
Juneteenth to me is a reminder to us as a people to education is the most important thing. It's the whole premise of it is, again, slaves being educated on that freedom and what a lack of education does, right? And so any opportunity that you can take to educate yourself, to learn, it doesn't free paid, it does not matter. You never scoff or shy away from an opportunity to learn and to grow and be educated ever.
That's what we're doing here. We're educating people right here today, and that's what it's all about. Lastly, what is I'm gonna combine these two questions. What you want the people in the community to take away from today, and what is one thing that you feel you owe yourself now, later, and one day?
So for the crew today, first of all, you guys could have been anywhere in the world on this 1 hour live, but
Yeah.
you're here with me. So thank you guys for taking the time out to be here. What I would say is literally the title of this. No one is supposed to understand your calling because it is not a conference call. It's not a conference call. It's not a FaceTime. This is not WhatsApp Messenger. Like it's
Talk to
your
him.
calling.
Yes.
So go pick up the phone for your calling, answer the call, and get it done, whatever it is. And what I owe myself now is grace. Like, you did a good job, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't be so hard on yourself. I think that we all beat ourselves up, especially if you're coming from a layoff or if you're trying to build your own business and you feel like everybody else is making sales and not me. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Like, so that's what I would tell the future self. There's nothing wrong with you. All in due time. All in due time.
All in due time. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That last like 2 minutes is the amazing soundbite. We gotta add that. We gotta add that in. We have to add that in. D, oh my
What did
God.
Kanye say? Jay's favorite line, all in due time.
Come
Touch
on.
the sky, him and
Come
Lupe
on.
Fiasco.
Come on. Come on. We giving it to you. And that's what we do each and every week here on the Lunch and Learn. Please tell the people where they can follow you, where they can contact you, where they can stay in touch, where they can join the sales loft, all of those things.
So yeah, you guys can literally jump onto the salesloft.com. You guys will see a link there that we're showing you guys that has everything that you need. Even what we pinned for you guys is the
Yes.
lounge links as well, so that you guys can take advantage of the freebies that I created for you guys. I want you guys to just, like I said, any kind of education, especially if it's free, take it. I'm also, of course, I'm in that relationship with Instagram too. So you guys can find me at Deidre Official, of course, on my LinkedIn. And I know that all of these links are going to be provided for you guys. Connect with me.
Yes.
And what I challenge you guys to all do is don't connect with me if I'm not going to see that you have 5 posts in the last 30 days. Because that
Come
means you're not
on.
building your business, you're not building your personal brand, you're not serious about getting that job, you're not serious. So if I see on that profile that there's not 5 new posts in the last at least 30 days, that connection is getting denied.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. And real quick, speaking of entrepreneurs, for all of our entrepreneurs and business owners that are here today, if you haven't yet, please join the vendor information session. We have one coming up March 13th at 7 p.m. We will be informing you of all the information for our 15th annual Juneteenth celebration, which again will be happening June 14th to June 16th. All right, amazing perks. We got it all there for you. Please make sure you join that vendor information session. You can go to our Instagram page or go to our website and join there. Okay. And lastly, calling all the models. We told you last month that we were accepting the designers, but now we have the models for the upcoming fashion show that will take place during the Juneteenth Festival. I had a loss for words just now. During the Juneteenth Festival. So make sure all the models, the deadline for that is April 1st. It is now March 7th. So you have a few more days to tap in and get that together. As always, it is a pleasure. I am honored to sit here and have this conversation with you today, D. You have been amazing. We will absolutely connect. Make sure you follow us on all platforms, Juneteenth NY. Follow that website, follow our Instagram page, follow me directly at FabMBG. That's forever the entire word AMBIG. And oh yeah, what do we have here? Okay, there we go. We have the Juneteenth 2024 right there on the screen the entire week. Everything that's going on the 14th to the 19th, we are here. Get involved, volunteer if you want to. Be here, okay? We're here to help each other. That's what we're doing. Until next time, next week, same time, same place. We will see you. D, it's been a pleasure. See y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.